Today I want to talk about one of the best things to come to the 3.25 expansion, and that is our good friend Faustus. Now, this video is coming to light or coming to existence because very recently on stream I've been buying, selling, trading, running, and doing a bunch of different farming strategies, and one of those has been essences. And when I've been sharing my experiences in Discord about how Faustus is making me a ton of profit, well, some people decided that they were going to give it a go. Some people had great success on Faustus, and some people were very confused, very lost, didn't know what they were doing, and they posted some of their results, and they were pretty terrifying. So we started to investigate and look into it, and we found out that some players just really didn't have a good grasp on how Faustus works, how to really use it, some of the tips and tricks to make him really viable. And today I want to go over some of the things that you as the player can do to really help up your game with Faustus. The idea of today's video is to teach you how to do a buy order, how to do a sell order, and how to track your trades and to make sure that you're listing your item at the best possible rate to get you the maximum amount of return. Now, Faustus being introduced, we're hoping that if you're watching this in the future, that Faustus is still available. We hope that he adds more things, but currently, Faustus gives us a wide variety of things that we could sell. We could sell all kinds of stackable currencies, essences, delve items, scarabs, different kinds of rune crafting runes, divination cards, deli orbs, breach or the blessings and the breach stones, all the legion fragments, all the fragments for the boss fights, oils, catalysts, all the different scouting reports, which makes this great, different omens, tattoos, all the expedition currency and life force. Now, Faustus is really simple and really easy. If you forget how to use Faustus, Faustus has this wonderful, very large help box right here that pretty much just kind of goes over everything. But in today's video, we're just going to give you very easy, simple tips and tricks. Now, Faustus, as you can see, you could sell items. We sold some Deafening Essence of Hatreds, and we can buy items. And you see, we bought some Deafening Essence of Hatreds, and we'll go over everything. Essentially, with Faustus, what you're going to want to do is if you use any website like Wealthy Exile or anything that allows you to pretty much take a snapshot of what you have in your currency, let me just bring that up right here, and you refresh and you get a good look at what you have, you can get an idea of what you should be selling, what you shouldn't be selling. In today's video, we'll use essences as a really good example. If I click my essences and I sort by price, I see that I have a bunch of different essences at a bunch of different prices. I see I have a bunch of different fragments at a bunch of different prices and all kinds of really neat things that I should be selling. And this will give you direction on what to sell, but won't give you the actual price. Now, this tool is helpful because it'll be like, hey, you have this flawless Chalula Breachstone, you should sell this. You have this regular Chalula Breachstone, you should sell this. These essences, you have these horror essences you should sell. And this will give you the idea of what you should be grabbing to what you should be selling. So now we know that, we go into our inventory, we come to our stash, we go to our essences, and we're like, hey, we have some horror essences. Let's grab our horror essences. We come on over to Faustus, we open up the currency exchange, and then we go, I have. And then we come on over, we click essences, we scroll down, we find essence of horror, or we can even type in essence of horror, and we can click on what we have. The I want is what we're looking for. For certain things like essences, I always recommend selling in Chaos or Divine Orbs. Some people like Chaos Orbs. If I click on the Chaos Orbs, we could see the rate. It tells us right away 40 to 1. And if I click on Divine Orbs, we see that they're 4.4 to a Divine. Now, this is the standard what players will do. They will close Faustus. They will open Faustus. Let's just reset him really quick here. They'll put in what they have. They'll put in what they want. They'll see a number. They'll be like, oh, I have 4 of these. And they'll just like put a number in and that's it. And then they just sell it. Or they'll do like this. They'll do containment essences or essence of contempt. They'll be like, oh man, 70 to a div. That's insane. I should sell my 70. They're 98, 70, 99. Oh man, this is the standard. This is what players are doing. They're clicking on their essence. They're putting them in. They're just auto letting it select a number for them and they're going. This is what you should not be doing. When you take your essence, like your essence of horror, and you put it in and you see the rate, you should press and hold the Alt button, the competing trades button. If I hold Alt, I could see what is called competing trades and what people are selling for. Available trades are buy orders and competing trades are sell orders. Another really good way to double check this is if I control click here, I could swap these And this used to be the old method. You'd be able to swap these, and you see the market ratio is 4-to-1. This is what people are buying at. So if I list 4 right now, they'll instantly sell. And if I go like this, they're 3.7-to-4. How are they selling at 3.7? Well, that's because people have a large bulk of them. They have more than 4 of them. But since I only have 4 and I want to make a quick sale, I go 1-to-4, I press sale, and then you can see right here, my 4-to-1 is listed right away. Oh, wait, that's buying. Whoops. Flip it this way. I don't want to buy them. I want to sell them. Mistakes can happen. So let's do this again. Easy divine. Perfect. Beautiful. Let's take our contempt essence. Let's stick our contempt essence in, and let's see. They are 70-to-1. If I hold alt, we see they're 49-to-1. And you can see I could flip this and they're 49-to-1. That tells me that people are buying or selling their contempt essences at 49 to a divine. I could sell really quickly right now at 70 to a divine, or buy them really quickly at 70 to a divine, or I can sell at 49 to a divine. So if I take these out and I go, I would like a divine, I'm going to go 49 to 1. Oh, these are hatreds. Whoops. Do I have 49 of these? I don't. But I can go 49 to 1 and buy them. So actually what I'll do for the sake of this video is there are available trades at 70 to a divine. So I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to go 70 to a divine. I'm going to put this in, and we're going to wait for this to fill. We can see right now that there's 70 to a divine. There's 6 orders in for them right now, and ours will fill hopefully during the duration of this video. We'll look at another essence. We'll look at Deafening Essence of Hatred, and we'll clear this out. We'll make this divine orbs, and we'll see once again 80 to a divine. That is a massive, massive, massive number. So if I want, I could sell these immediately, 80 to a divine, or I could flip these around and I can go 1 for 79. I can undercut that guy. I can place an order, and I'm now the top order at 1 to 79 to a divine. This makes life really simple. This hopefully will fill. The reason why this is important, and one of the things is, and I hate to be the person to say this, but since they're actually filling and selling at 1 to 55, 1 to 51, 1 to 50, you can actually retake these essences and sell them. So if I had a large variety of these, I have 85 of them, I can look at available trades, or I can look at competing trades in this case, because I have, and I can make a gauge on how much I'll be able to get. Now, in the case of the competing trades right now, we see that the essences are 61 to 1, 55 to 1, 51 to 1, 50 to 1, 46 to 1. Those are not a lot. Those are an absolute small amount of essences. So I know right away that if I were to take my essences and I wanted to sell my essences, I can go 46 to 1 and I can list my essences. And within an hour or so, these will sell once the other stock, is pretty much removed. If I wanted to make this process go quicker and I wanted to get mine to sell relatively quicker, there is a 122, so I can go 122 for 2, and this is 61 to 1, and then I can just buy these out, and then, now they're 51, 55 to 1, so they're just gonna go like 55 to 1, and I just go fucking, just go somewhere else. Not the moral of the video, but just showing the ways that you can use Faustus. Faustus becomes a tool that, if you learn how to use, will make you an absolute metric ton of currency. An absolute ton of currency. And you could sell, like I said, all kinds of different things. You can see I could sell my shaper fragments too. Available trades 3.5 to 1, or I could sell them 4 to 1, and I can just sell pretty much everything. I could put buy orders, sell orders. I could sell all of my fragments. I could sell all of my scarabs. I could sell all of my essences, and I can essentially just get rid of everything that I have. The big takeaway that you need to know with Faustus is that when you're listing an item like a scorn essence, for example, and you look at that market ratio, that you spend the extra second and you hold down the alt key, you really want to see what available trades are and what competing trades are, because you want to make sure that you're giving yourself the best rate. Now, if you have divine orbs and you want to purchase an item like, say, scorn essences, you want to do the same thing. You want to see what people are competing at. You see that they're 1 for 10.5. So you get 1 divine's worth for 10.5 essences. That means I should get like 21 for 2 or something like that. So if I can make a trade like this, I would get 21 for 2 divines. And the math, you know, just becomes depending on how much you want to buy and sell. Now, if the ratio is a little too confusing for you and you don't really know what you want to do, you can put 5 divines here and see what the ratio it gives you. And if you're okay with buying 50 for 5, you click like this, you hit place order, and you're just done. I don't ever recommend doing that. I recommend spending the extra couple of seconds doing the math if you can and trying to get the best rate possible. Now, there are different things to note too. You can buy all kinds of currencies. You could sell all kinds of currencies. And if I wanted, just say I wanted to buy chaos orbs, which usually is a huge hassle going to the trade website, I can come right on here. I can look at competing trades. I can see they're relatively similar, 153, 154, and you could see it actually updating in real time. Right now, available in real time, I can buy chaos orbs at 150 chaos to a divine, or I could place a buy order for 153 because that's the current competing trades, or I can even undercut and go 152 and place a trade and just get my 152. If I had let the boxes automatically fill, I would have auto-filled at 150 and I wouldn't have gotten the extra 2 chaos. I know 2 chaos isn't a whole lot of currency. For some players, that is a whole lot of currency. So I want to make sure that you guys are very well aware and can get the maximum amount of currency. The same thing goes with other things. Like if I wanted to buy annulment orbs and I were to come here and I would put some annulment orbs in, you could see that they're 1 annulment orb for 3 chaos. And if I go to divines here, you could see that available trades, there's 60 to a divine or 41 to a divine. So if I had 60 and I don't want to sell 60 for a divine, I just go 42 or 42 and I go 1 and I list it. I'm the next highest trade. The next time somebody buys 42 of them, they'll get filled. Or if I wanted to flip it around and I wanted to buy annulment orbs and I wanted to not spend for a divine for 41 or 42, I just go 59, I go 1 and I put in a buy order and I just wait it out. Knowing that you could set up buy orders is really convenient because I could set these buy orders. I can go make a cup of coffee. I'll come back. They'll probably fill. I'll go do some maps. I'll come back. They'll fill. And it'll allow me to pretty much do my farming. Now, if you're anything like me, you're either a parent, you work, you just don't have a whole lot of time to play, and you get a couple of hours at night. Like me personally, when my kid goes to bed, I only get like a good hour, maybe an hour and a half after I clean the house and do everything. And I want to sit down and I want to map. I just want to kill some mobs. I don't want to think. I want to farm some currency. And I don't want to end my farming session early to sell my items. Well, that's where Faustus comes into play. You can do your hour of mapping. You can list 10 items on Faustus, and then you can go to bed and wake up to a whole ton of currency. And it is beautiful. It is wonderful. It is an absolute dream of a thing added to the game. And I know me personally, I know if they take it away, I swear to God, I will sign a petition. I will riot. I don't even know what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to be so sad if this thing goes. Like, absolutely positively so sad. But Faustus does not come without its downsides. Now, I know there's a lot of positives and upsides to Faustus, but let's talk about some of the downsides. You could see with me putting orders on your screen or on my screen right now that those orders are starting to fill the screen. You can only have a maximum of 10 orders at a time. So once I got these last 3 spots, unfortunately, that is it until I remove an order. So if I were to move this order that I put in and sold some essences, I would get another spot for being able to sell things. The other downside to Faustus is you need gold. So if you live in something like Heist, you won't really have a lot of gold. If you live in something like Simulacrums, you won't have a lot of gold. Unfortunately, is a downside to Faustus. I do agree, and I do think some of the gold prices are a little outrageous, and I'm hoping they get tuned in future expansions. So if you're watching this in the future, hopefully this isn't a problem anymore. But overall, I think the upsides of Faustus are too good. Hopefully, too, in the future, Faustus also has the ability to let us buy, sell, and trade more things than just currency items. But one thing I have noticed, one thing I will say is Faustus allows me to make way more currency than if I were to sell things on the trade website or through other means. That includes essences. And I will say that you absolutely, positively, 100% need to be taking full advantage of Faustus. And if you have questions about Faustus or you don't understand it, please, by all means, ask. Literally ask in the comments, come by the Discord, and just ask for advice, ask for help, because I've been using Faustus since the start of the league, and I don't know how I would ever go back. And a really good example of something that I could show you too with how good Faustus is I ran the other day, and I posted this in my Discord. I ran 100 maps of essences. It took me about 5 hours to run, and I converted the essences using blue juice, the whole 9 yards, and Wealthy Exile told me that I had about 140 divs in essences. And that goes off of like POE Ninja and when people buy and all that jazz. And if I were to sell on the trade site, when I sold my essences on Faustus, my 140 divs worth of essences on Faustus, using the methods that I talked about today with holding alt, checking competing trades, I actually got 209 div worth of essences out of all my trades. And you could see in this screenshot here that like I was just selling all of my essences at these crazy rates, and they were all filling and they were all selling. And I actually even had essences left over that I didn't get to sell because I was using them for a project. And if I had used the trade website, or I had used other means, or I had sold my essence tab at 70, 80, 90%, I would have gotten nowhere near what I usually get. And the reason I bring this up is I know a lot of you guys will like run your Wealthy Exile, see that you have say 140 divs worth of essences, and then you'll just sell them off to a trader at 80, 90%, and you won't bat an eye. If I had did that with my 140 divs worth of essences, I would have walked away with 110, 115 divs maybe, and not 220. So Faustus is really strong. And if you have the opportunity to take the time to sit down and learn it and experiment and mess around with it and play around with it, I really, really, really encourage you to do it, because you're probably missing out on a ton of divines that are already sitting in your stash. If you're anything like my friends and your stash tab is probably full and you have jewelers and fusings and alterations and chisels and stuff, go farm a little bit of gold, list it right away on Faustus, and get it sold. Get it sold. Do not be broke. The day and age of being a broke Path of Exile player is long gone. The only thing I will say is if you were going to sell anything and you were going to put it into Faustus, don't just go with the numbers that autofill in. Please hold alt. Please double check, because if I were to sell these Val Orbs right now and that 211 wasn't there, it would autofill in at 430. And you would just be like selling 2 divines worth of Val Orbs for the price of 1. So double, triple, quadruple check, because buy orders are out there for people to make a profit, because I could just put in a buy there. They're gone. I could put in a buy order right now for 420 Val Orbs to a divine and then turn around and sell them 210 to a divine. So just something to keep in mind. And if you're also picking up what I'm putting down and you have a ton of gold and you don't have a lot of time to play, you could do this with almost anything. Like in the beginning of the league, I was buying Valdo boxes super cheap and then selling them super expensive. You can even buy things for gold and then resell them. But, you know, buy things for chaos and then resell them for divines. But anyways, I just wanted to get this video out. I wanted to talk about the very basics of Faustus. I wanted to give you guys the understandings of how to use it and how to stop self-scamming yourself. And please, by all means, don't just go with the numbers that Faustus just puts into the box. Spend a half a second, hold down that alt key, double, triple check your competing and buying trades, and make sure that you're giving yourself the best rate available. Because if you don't, you're just going to be selling your stuff at a huge loss. And well, I mean, better to learn now than to continue selling your stuff at a huge loss. If you have questions, please leave a comment down below. Come stop by the live stream, come stop by the YouTube, the Rumble, come stop in the Discord. Just ask. You don't need to be alone. You can ask. There are plenty of people in the community that are willing to help and willing to help guide you through Faustus and how to buy and sell things. And if you found this video useful or helpful, please leave a like, a comment, share, do all that wonderful stuff. YouTube really appreciates that, and I too really appreciate that. For now, friends, I'm going to get this video out to you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.